So Jason, what's the trip about?
We love snowboarding in the mountains, but we've got to look after the environment more, and flying over there surely can't be the best way. So are there alternative travel methods? There are alternative snowboarding brands that we can use, and that's what the trip's about.
An eco-friendly snowboarding trip.
That's right.
Cool. So James and Rosie and baby Charlie are flying because that's considered like the easiest way, where Carole and I are taking a hybrid Ford Mondeo. Carole is an environmental consultant.
So it's because of you and your fascination with snowboarding, and Carole with her passion for sustainability that
and
this
you,
project...
because of your photography and video and
Well,
drone shots. We're literally driving now up to Brentford in West London to go to Ford's garage, and they're going to give us a hybrid Mondeo.
The 4 comparisons we're going to do between the 2 teams are duration, so how many hours did it take door to door for each trip, the experience and stress levels, so how much did you actually enjoy it or how hard was the journey, the cost of the journey between a flight and driving all the way there, and obviously the most important one, the carbon footprint. How much damage do we do to the environment, and how less can we do in an alternative form of transport, i.e. a car.
It's a challenge.
You ready, Charlie? We're packed. We're driving to the airport. Where are we going, Charlie? We're going to France, aren't we? We're going skiing. Bye.
See you. And they're off.
Make sure you fill that complimentary bag up, Carole. I want that full to the brim. Let's sit back. Testing 1, 2, 3. Hello, hello.
Way too early in the morning.
We are just leaving the Flexi Plus area. Just been in the lounge. We're boarding soon on the Eurotunnel train. A little bit later than we hoped. We left Brighton at about 7-ish, but we had 2 problems. The front left tyre became deflated overnight, so that was annoying. We had to stop for that, so that put on like another 40 minutes to our journey. We had an issue with the Eurotunnel where we didn't know what our booking reference was.
Yeah, I can't see it.
No worries, what I will do, I will send you to the office, okay?
We were originally supposed to get in at 8:15, having left Brighton at 7.
Yeah, it was solid 12 hours, wasn't it? So we'll have to learn, because at the moment we're using petrol. We're charging up the battery. We've done 91 miles from Brighton to the Eurotunnel crossing, and we've done it at 40 miles per gallon. So
Is that good? I don't really know.
Well, the Mustang that I saw yesterday does 15 miles per gallon, so we're double and a bit more than a Mustang. I don't know if that's gauged on fuel efficiency.
Oh, we're off.
No, we're not there. Oh, we are. Bad start. I think it's just spilled coffee everywhere. It's all gone wrong.
We were doing so well. Oh my god, is this it?
Yeah, get your camera out, Carole.
You get my glasses on, I can't see.
Put your specs on.
Ooh. God, it's so futuristic.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it?
Mesdames et messieurs, votre attention s'il vous plaît.
Say cheese. Charlie, you've been a monkey.
There's the aeroplane. Finally made it to the aeroplane, and it has been really stressful. But Charlie wanted to run around. We made it. Yeah, aeroplane. So far the flight's been really good, the seats are really comfy, and it's quite a new plane. But as you can see, the changing facilities are tiny. I could probably fit Charlie there.
How many hours we've got on the clock? So if you're driving for 8 hours, you split the drive into sections. Like the bit in England is kind of exciting because you're leaving home and you're excited to get out, and then the Eurotunnel's quite fun.
Yeah.
And then getting into France initially is amazing because it's just like the landscapes are so vast. That's like the first 2 hours in France, and that's it. You're bored. Like there's just nothing.
A book then?
I was driving, I couldn't read a book.
I think there's plenty to see.
Hello, James. He hasn't had the easiest trip. And they are there 3 hours earlier. Not early enough to go out skiing, but early enough to kind of get there, have a nice dinner, some wine. The chalet's got some nice like spa facilities.
See, it is really snowy today. It's a bit of a whiteout.
Have I got my hoodie on?
Yes, yeah, I've got your video.
I don't even know what I've got on. Ugh. Today being an absolute craziest day with an unbelievable amount of snow. This is end of March. The season is tailing off and it's snowing huge amounts. People are getting ice at this time of the year. It makes for bad photography because there's no blue sky and no mountains, but it's a lot of fun going down the piste.
Battered ourselves on top of the glacier in the Plagne, which is 3,170 metres high in a whiteout.
Bottled it and we're getting the bubble lift back down into town.
Yeah.
Because we're too tired to sit on that snowboard down. The weather conditions just aren't great for it. Like the snow's really lovely on the piste, but you just can't see any of it. It's completely white. You can't see like moguls. You can't really see turns.
I took a really hard slam on my toe edge because I just lost it in the whiteout and it really hurt. Just need to go back, have some food and some beer. The Plagne's such an amazing destination that we're definitely going to come back. And
yeah, this place is cool. There's such a good variety of stuff.
there's lots of young people here as well as families.
Carole and I went some après ski, and that was full of 20-year-olds partying hard. What do you think of your board, your Capita?
I'm in love with my Capita board. It's so flexible and springy and light.
Loving my Capita board too. It just handles so well. They're made at the mothership in Austria, 100% hydropowered, so not using any fossil fuels, coals, petrol, anything like that. And then all the materials are sustainably sourced. What do you think about your picture clothing?
This is the best snowboarding jacket I've ever had. I've had 2 or 3 now. It's not very thick, but it's so warm, and you can just put a few layers underneath. And no snow's got in there. It's only got a couple of pockets, which is fine because you only need like 3 pockets. One for your lift pass, one for your phone, one for your sunglasses, and that's it.
My one, it's a lumberjack shirt with a gilet. I chose this one because I get too hot when I ride, so I knew today was going to be a bit of a brutal day, so I wore them both together. Yeah, I'm loving this. In my pocket is a little glasses cleaner or goggles cleaner, and then that's attached to my jacket. That goes away, so that's good. They've not had to sacrifice quality to be sustainable, environmental.
You wouldn't know, like no one would go, oh, this feels a bit rough.
Back into the village now.
Trying to work out how we get back home with a toddler and a incapacitated mother. We'll taxi with her. Hopefully she's okay with her broken ribs. Ski for me has been amazing. It gave us a really nice room in Chalet Delphine, which is a beautiful chalet. Jason and Carole helped out a lot by looking after Charlie and taking as much stuff as they could in their Mondeo hybrid back home. So yeah.
So heading back home to Brighton before we change it up a bit, and on the way back we would stop to break up the journey a bit.
We stopped first in Annecy, and it really was beautiful, having the lake and then the mountains just in the background with the snow on top of the mountains.
And then a castle.
Driving from Annecy to Greens and going through that incredible thunderstorm. Lightning straight across the road. I don't even know what would happen with an electric car if
it would just be fully charged. The battery would just fill up.
Yeah.
Motorists were stopping in the slow lane, putting the hazard lights on because they were too scared to drive. The hailstones coming down were so hard. Carole decided to take the cat off now.
Or cat off.
Cat off. Reims was just a good halfway point. Capital of the Champagne district. And the Champagne Caves, they're a network of underground cellars going across the city. Managed to go and see the Taittinger Champagne Caves.
We were dug out by the Romans.
There are so many strict rules in the Champagne area about how these grapes are grown.
Seems like a really sustainable business model.
Oh, sustainable, nice. So we wanted to work out how does a hybrid work. Lots of like little computer settings and just trying to figure out what they mean. We've worked out that when you're driving on petrol, your battery recharges, like the hybrid battery recharges. And then when you're going a slow enough speed and when your revs aren't too high, you start utilising the battery. You don't use any petrol anymore, which is great because you're basically driving for free. And it's just meant that we've been more efficient with our miles per gallon and with how much electricity we use against petrol. What I quite like with the hybrid is you don't have to plan in electric power station stops.
The interface is really nice and really easy to look at actually when you're driving. It's not too distracting.
There's a pheasant in the road.
Oh!
It's alright, it's made it across. Had a chicken cross the road. Slowly. What's our plan tomorrow?
We're going to drop off the Ford. From there we're going to drive and pick up our 10-week-old puppy.
Yeah, we're in Spain to drop off the snowboards. The Riders Lounge and the UK resellers of Capita boards, and they kindly lent us the boards to play with. We'll have to see what they think of the damage we've done to the boards.
Well-used boards.
What did you think of your picture organic clothing?
I really loved it. I think my jacket was a Navarro pattern. Really stylish but really functional as well. Considering it's, made from 100% recyclable materials. A lot of compliments and stuff.
Wow, yeah, people really like the idea. I don't think many brands talk about their sustainability as much now, so I think brands need to start communicating that better. And I think that's what this trip's been about.
We are only 7 minutes away from Carole.
On the way home.
So we made it. We're here back home.
Back in sunny Brighton.
We wanted to check 4 areas. That is carbon footprint, overall experience, duration and cost.
Yep.
Door to door, how long was your journey?
About 8 hours.
Yeah, about 8 hours door to door. It was all kind of manageable chunk.
It doesn't feel long.
We definitely had that though, didn't we? On the way out, it took 14 hours and we tried to do it in one go with a few like service stops. On the way back, we split it up and that made it so much more manageable over like 2 days.
So how was your experience?
I really enjoyed it actually. I really enjoyed driving through France.
The way back, we decided to do it differently and break up the journey with 2 city stops in Annecy and Reims. And that was just great fun. It's so nice to experience that, and it kind of felt like we went snowboarding and 2 short city breaks as well.
So the experience for us on the way out was quite stressful, wasn't
It
it?
was really stressful because Charlie is so mobile now that he just wants to. You can't stand in a queue with him. He wants to just ping everywhere.
Yeah. So let's discuss the costs involved.
Yeah, we had the hybrid car, but the electric engine only kicks in at certain speeds, so we did use a lot of petrol. Also, the toll roads are quite expensive. It's all pretty much private motorway toll roads going through France. So how about you guys? What are the costs like for you?
You can do it a lot more cost saving if you book in advance, but like a lot of families, you don't know, if the season's right.
That's a really important point with skiing because you never know what the conditions are like, so you're kind of a bit worried about booking too far in advance just in case the snow's gone awful.
But most importantly, we really need to know the carbon footprint results.
Greenstone Plus have provided the carbon calculations, and in the hybrid Mondeo was 262 kilograms of carbon dioxide emissions, whereas you guys in the Plagne, you had 350.8 kilograms of carbon dioxide emissions.
There's actually 100 kilograms difference between them, which is nearly a third less in driving a car over, which I still think is a substantial amount to save.
It's huge.
Also, the company that worked out the calculations for us, they were a bit conservative because they didn't use the Eurotunnel as a zero emissions, which it might be because it's part of the Carbon Trust. It uses renewable energy from France, so we could even probably estimate it being lower than that as well. So
That makes sense.
Yeah.
but overall relief that it is lower, that we didn't just do this.
I'm glad. I mean, it'd be very sad if the Plagne guys got the lower emissions.
What would you do differently next time, guys?
I'm much more a fan of driving long distance and having a bit of a journey and a few breaks.
Shelby's misbehaving, so I've had to hold her now. She can't be on the floor.
I'd rather do the whole trip by car because I can take more stuff and you can kind of break up the journey and have more fun and enjoy the journey. So it's not just about the destination, it's about the trip itself.
What we would do differently would be stop off somewhere on the way out just to break up the journey a little more.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the way back, so doing the same on the way out there. You just have to make sure you have enough time, that's the only thing.
Maybe have another driver, you know, have someone there to add to the conversation because it is a long journey and no
And
offence.
share the driving as well.
We'd usually just sort of jump on to look at flights whenever we're going to go away somewhere, but this has definitely sort of opened our mind to thinking about how we can do it more sustainably as well.
It's quite easy to as well. You don't have to go to the extreme with these environmental things. You can pick some interesting cool brands, or you can pick alternative travelling, which can actually be enjoyable as well. We didn't go zero emissions, we just tried to cut out where we could and still enjoy the whole holiday as well.
Yeah, you can have a sustainable holiday, you just need to do your research.
But also there's the hour time difference, so when you get to a destination you're an hour later than back home. So when you go home, you actually get home an hour earlier than if you're on the Geneva time.
Yeah, that's not going in.
I quite like it.
Hey, that's useful to know.
I'm time travelling.
God damn. Right, that was easier.